So per the one request I got, this is going to be a yoga for the core. So when you're ready, again, make sure your space is nice and safe. You've got your mat stuck to something that won't move, and we will begin standing. Just checking that our feet are hip distant, dropping our tailbone. Let's draw our shoulders back and down. And we'll start with our eyes closed. And just checking in with our breath. And let's take a few breaths just deep into our belly. Bringing our awareness to our diaphragm muscle, which sits up there above our stomach, but below our lungs. As we inhale, it presses down. That's why our belly flares out. And then when we exhale, we squeeze it in and up to squeeze the air out of our lungs. So just envision that is like our deepest core muscle. Envision that muscle pressing down and out on the inhale, squeezing in and up on our exhales. Feeling that warmth start to build in our core. Let's make sure that we have a soft bend in our knees. We'll just start with a few pelvic tilts now, just breathing however it comes naturally. Starting to move forward and back, just moving the hips. And let's take a big sweep up, inhale, exhale, forward fold. And we're going to inhale up halfway. On our exhale, bowing forward again. And then we're going to inhale all the way up, exhale, forward fold. Inhaling up halfway, and exhale, bowing in. So let's take it all the way up one more time, all the way down. Inhaling up halfway, and bowing in. Let's inhale and bring it up. We'll step out a little wide. On an exhale, let's bring one hand down. Inhaling up, exhaling the other hand down. And let's come back to the center. And we'll bring our feet back to that hip distance. Let's turn sideways and begin to press back into our chair pose. From here, we're going to inhale up, exhale, and sit back. Inhaling up, exhale, pressing back through the tailbone, keeping our chest tall. Now let's add a little twist here. So just gently touching one hip and then the other. All right, let's finish up both sides. Inhaling up. And we'll step out just a little bit here, circling our hips. Let's take it the other way. step up to the top edge of our mat, finding our mountain pose. So just checking in with our spine, dropping our tailbone, lifting through the crown of our head. On an inhale, let's sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. And we'll inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, bowing in. And let's take hands to the floor. We'll step back to one knee and then the other. And let's press back to our child's pose. While we're here, we want to walk our hands out overhead, separating them out shoulder distance. And we're going to inhale forward. Shoulders over our fingers. Let's exhale and lower down a bit. Inhale, push up. And exhale back to child's pose. So flowing with our own breath. Inhale, plank. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale back. Making our way back to child's pose. Of course, if we prefer, we can come forward, tuck the toes, and find our downward facing dog. So let's go ahead and walk our hands and feet together. And bring it up. And we'll step our feet out to the edges of our mat. Let's do a few circles here again. Both ways. Let's take a giant inhale. And a quick water break. We always want to stay hydrated. And then we'll turn sideways on our mat and step out really wide. So from here, let's inhale up, and we're going to exhale, forward fold. And let's inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. And one more time, up and down. All right, let's bring it up, hands wide. Now let's turn one set of toes out for warrior two. So for now, shoulders stacked over our hips. Again, our spine is long. Let's flip the palm, reach forward, and then up, reverse warrior. And we're going to take this over to side angle. We can bring our forearm to our thigh. One arm can reach up or stay at our hip. The other hand can come to the floor. On an inhale, let's bring this back up. Reverse warrior. And let's flow 3 times here. Inhaling, reverse warrior. Exhaling, side angle. Any variation on the arms. 3 times. Making our way back to reverse warrior. Now let's go ahead and straighten that front leg, reaching out. Let's reach as far as we can. Pause for just a moment. And then find our triangle pose. Let's bring it back up, reverse warrior, knee back over the ankle. We're going to find our side angle, but we're going to revolve it this time. So let's take that top hand around to the thigh and just reach as far around as we can behind us. Let's unwind that, back to our side angle, and then reverse warrior. So let's do a 3-breath flow again, either straight side to side in the side angle or twisting it into that revolved angle. So inhaling here, exhaling over. Make sure to unwind as you inhale, exhale over. One more deep breath. Back to reverse warrior. Now let's turn the palm, straighten the leg. Again, reach. Let's reach and pause for a moment. Really feel the abdominals engage. Let's find our triangle. And we're going to revolve this. So let's bring that upper hand around to the leg, other hand wrapping around us. Let's unwind that. And we're going to come back up briefly to warrior 2 and turn forward. So shake that out. Let's inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more times, all the way up and down. All right, let's bring it up, turning our other toes out. Warrior 2 on the other side. Again, being mindful of our spine in this position. Now let's go ahead and flip our other palm, reaching forward, and then up, reverse warrior. With an exhale, let's find our side angle. Remember these different variations on the arms that you can choose. And let's bring this up, reverse warrior. So taking our 3 side-to-side breaths here, inhaling up, exhaling over 3 times. Coming back to that reverse warrior on the 3rd. Now let's turn our palms, straighten our leg, shift the hips and reach. Again, we're going to reach and pause once our arms are parallel to the floor. And then find triangle. Remember, we should be able to breathe easily in whatever pose we're in. And let's take it back to reverse warrior. Exhaling, side angle. And we're going to revolve. So let's bring that top hand to our thigh, other arm all the way around. And let's unwind back to side angle. And reverse warrior. So 3 more breaths here to side angle or revolved side angle. Inhaling on the reverse warrior. Exhaling over. Ending up at the reverse warrior. Let's turn our palm forward. And again, let's find that high triangle, reaching and then releasing. And let's look at revolving this hand to our leg, other arm around the body. And let's unwind here, back to reverse warrior. Warrior 2, and facing forward. Let's just do a forward fold right here. Hands down wherever you want them. Maybe reaching out to our feet. While we're here, let's nod our head up and down. Let it shake side to side. And slowly, we'll hinge up, walking our feet in. And again, get some water. We'll make our way to the top edge of our mat and our mountain pose. On an inhale, let's sweep our arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's inhale up halfway. And exhale down again. This time we're going to step back to our plank pose. So we can keep this on our toes. We can take this on our knees. Either way that we want to do this, just make sure that we've got our hips, shoulders lined up, navel lifting toward our spine. On an exhale, let's lower knees, hips, chest. Shrug the shoulder blades to the hips. Inhale the chest forward and up. Let's do 3 breaths right here. On that third exhale, your choice, child's pose or downward facing dog. Let's come forward to hands and knees. And making sure that we have everything stacked. That means hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. We're going to look at our kneeling side plank, and we're going to play around with that. So let's stay on the knees. We're going to slide one foot off the mat, line the other foot up with that knee, and come into our side plank. So like I said, we're going to kind of play around with our balance, working our core here. So first option is lifting the leg. Remember, we can always let this hand rest at our hip if our shoulder doesn't like reaching up. But we can also bend our knee, and maybe we can reach back and catch our foot, maybe. Let's slowly release from here, coming back down. Let's take child's pose, or just sit back a moment. Give that one wrist a little massage, or a little shake, or a little bend in the opposite direction. And when we're ready, we'll come back to hands and knees. Stacking everything. Let's slide the other foot off. Line that foot up down the floor. And again, let's start in just that basic side plank here. We'll take it in stages, starting with lifting the leg. And again, we can always try bending it, reaching our hand back. Maybe we can catch this foot. And we'll slowly release from there. And again, let's give that wrist a break. Whatever we need. And then we'll find our child's pose. Let's walk our hands and feet together. coming in to our standing forward fold. And again, just shake our head out, rock, and we'll come up to our mountain. Now let's just find our mountain for a moment, maybe stepping just off of our mat. We're going to move into our balance next. So find a spot where your feet are solid on the floor. Find something that's not moving to really focus on. Now let's begin here, drawing our navel in and up, shoulders back and down, engaging these muscles of our core, the same muscles that we found in our plank pose. And then let everything go. Notice how that feels. Let's draw it all in again. And we're just going to shift over. If you're comfortable, come into tree pose. Otherwise, leave the toes down because we're going to play around with the use of our transverse muscles. So release it. Notice how that changes things. That's one reason we'll keep the toes down. Now let's draw it all in. And here we may have the confidence to lift the foot up. Keep it drawing in and up. We can breathe into the upper chest. Also notice how changing up the arms changes the pose. All right, let's release from that. Shake it out. And again, we'll come to our mountain. Let's let everything go. Draw it in and up. Just a slight draw. Let's shift over to the other side. And again, tree pose if we're feeling good today. Toes down. For this first part, release. Notice how letting everything just go changes the balance. Let's draw it in, just like we're in a plank pose. Maybe lift the feet this time. Play around with the arms. And let's release. Shake that out. Again, get some more water. Feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. We'll find our mountain pose at the top of our mat. With an inhale, let's sweep our arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's go ahead and step back to hands and knees for just a moment. We're going to step back into our plank and lower knees, hips, chest. So let's untuck our toes, shrug our shoulder blades together. Let's start with 5 cobra breaths. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Without the use of our hands, just working entirely into our lower back. And we'll take a rest after the 5th exhale. While we're here, let's go back to envisioning our diaphragm. And think about those belly breaths. Inhale, press the diaphragm out, feel the belly press into the floor, and then exhale, let that diaphragm press all the air out of the lungs. Let's go ahead and bring our hands back under our shoulders, shoulder blades to our hips. Let's inhale forward and up, elbows underneath our shoulders. And then drawing the shoulders down and our head up. We're gazing straight ahead. Seeing if we can release through our glutes. Checking in with our lower back. And if we're feeling it, we'll begin to lift, checking the flexibility of our back. This can get intense, so make sure to come back to the elbows if your body needs to go back down. And then we will lower down all the way, taking another breath or break and checking in with our breath. All right, let's bring hands under our shoulders. We're gonna come up to that Sphinx again. So drawing the shoulders down, head up. So we're gonna add a little side bend to this. And what we're gonna do is just take one foot, we're gonna tuck the toes and push back through the heel. And then we're gonna walk our hands, arms over to the other side. So pushing back through that heel, stretching and bending off to the side. Hopefully we're feeling an intense stretch along the side of our waist. Let's walk this back to the center. Untuck that foot. Let's tuck the other foot. Push back through the heel. And then walk over to the other side. Let's come back to the center. Untuck. Now let's come down. And again, we'll take 5 diaphragm breaths. And we'll take hands underneath our shoulders and push up. Let's come around and have a seat. And we'll either come into our easy seat with one leg in front of the other or soles of the feet together. And let's just begin here with a forward fold. We're going to sit up from here, bring our knees together. Let's make sure we're up on our sit bones, tilting our hips forward. Squeeze the knees together. Let's find our boat pose, either one or both feet. Holding on or letting go. But squeeze the knees together. And then we'll release one foot and the other. Take the legs out wide or soles of the feet together, just to release the inner thighs. And let's sit up tall. So we can come back to that easy seat or stay just like this. We're going to take a side bend. So let's reach for the ceiling first. Let the other hand come down. And then making sure that this sit bone stays on the floor, we can begin to take this deeper if we're feeling it. All right, let's come back up. And now we're going to reach the other arm up and we're going to twist toward that side. So our other hand is coming right near our bottom to keep our spine tall. This hand is coming to the outside of our thigh. Let's unwind from here. Switch feet if you're in easy seat. And let's take the side bend to the other side. So reaching for the ceiling first, just getting a feel for it. And then if we're feeling it, taking it further. Making sure that we can breathe. And let's come back up. We'll reach the other arm up, lengthen the spine, and twist. Let's unwind here. Take the legs out wide and forward fold here. All right, let's bring it up. Grab another quick sip of water. We're going to take it to the floor. The easiest way to get there is to take support under one leg, tuck and roll. Take your time. Once we get there, we're just going to let our head roll back, shake everything out, or rock side to side. Let's bring our hands and feet to the floor, hands down by our side, right up next to our hips. We're going to walk our feet back until we can touch our fingertips and our heels. We're actually going to flow with our bridge pose for now. So let's inhale, lift the hips up one vertebra at a time. Exhale, place each one down, one at a time. Moving with our own breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. One more. And let's release, taking our feet to the ceiling. Let's press our navel into the floor. We're going to lift our head and shoulders and reach our hands out past our legs. Let's lower back a little bit. Open the legs into a V and reach between. Then we're going to inhale, release, bring the feet together, exhale, press. Inhale, release, open the legs, exhale, press. So just begin to inhale down, exhale up here, switching the hands inside and outside the legs. We'll finish with the hands outside. Let's lower down. We'll come back to our bridge pose and we'll hold it this time. Hips to the ceiling. We can even roll our shoulders under, turning our palms up. Even finding that diaphragm breath. Notice how it feels in this position. Let's lower down from here and we'll hug our knees. Taking our arms out wide, let's squeeze the knees together and we're going to lower over to one side. So here's a spot where we can take something, a pillow or a blanket underneath our knees, in between our knees, if we feel like we need to. As always, we want to make sure that we can breathe. Let's draw our knees back up to center. Shake everything out here and rock, or reach the hands overhead and pull the feet away. And then we'll hug our knees again, open our arms wide. Also our knees over to the other side. Same options as before. Making sure both shoulders are down. And then we can breathe. Let's draw back up to the center. And again, we can take that long stretch or just rock. And let's hug and rock. We're going to go ahead and move into final relaxation. So remember, if our lower back feels better, we can keep our knees up, arms by our side. We can also roll over onto our side or our belly, or we can stay on our back with our legs long. So just beginning to make our way to whatever place that is. Closing our eyes. And just releasing our arms, legs, and head into the floor. And let's really focus on softening in our belly. Maybe feeling our belly go hollow. Making sure that we've got some space in our jaw, we're not clenching anything. Allowing ourselves to breathe normally. And just being still for a few moments. Let's bring our awareness back to our belly area and the diaphragm. And right here, let's take 5 diaphragmatic breaths, letting that belly press up. And then we'll wiggle our fingers and toes, arms and legs, moving whatever way our body's feeling. When we're ready, let's hug our knees and roll to our side if we're on our back or belly. Making sure that we take our time. When we're ready, we can use our top hand and push up. And just find a comfortable seat. Grounding through our sit bones. Let's lengthen our spine. Checking in with our breath one more time. As it comes naturally. Now let's go ahead and let that diaphragm squeeze up, squeeze all the air that we can out of our lungs. See, we can squeeze a little more. Then we'll take a big inhale together. Exhaling hands to our heart. Thank you for joining me today. All that is good and light in me honors all that is good and light in you. Namaste. All right. So please put some comments off to the side here. Let me know what you thought about today's live event. Let me know if you want to try it again sometime. You can also leave comments even after this is done, but I'm gonna hang around for a few minutes just in case anybody has anything they want to let me know, all right? So enjoy the rest of your day. I will probably see some of you all tomorrow at the Senior Center. I'm gonna get some water. All right. Well, again, thank you for joining me today. We'll give this another shot sometime, probably. I'm going to go ahead and log off. All right. See you next time. Oops. All right.